Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Rogue Trader. Me, bring it on. Let's deal with Foulstone. Monastery of the Order of the Hammer. Lord Captain, we received a transmission from Foulstone. It was sent by members of the Order of the Hammer, votaries of St. Cognatius, whose monastery is the only settlement on the planet. Or rather, it used to be. Some time ago, a transport vessel, the Navigator, unloaded several thousand refugees from a planet belonging to Rogue Trader Winterscale. The Order of the Hammer has judged this invasion to be an act of aggression and is asking for your lordship's protection. Those people are victims, not invaders. Prepare my shuttle. I shall head to the planet and resolve this conflict. As it pleases your lordship. Sector Cronus Expanse, Region Assessar System, or Askasar System. Location, Monastery of St. Cognatius, Foulstone. Material, Chronicle compiled by the humble archivist brother Petrikos. 611 days after the feast of the passing of Nicomedes Keefe, the champion of faith, disquietude marred the calm of the monastery of the Order of the Hammer. Countless tortured souls steeped in fear arrived on Foulstone in a star bark. A great apostasy had befallen their home, and turned them into abject wanderers seeking help and refuge. The wicked and cruel captain, the owner of the Navigator, had betrayed them. Once the unknowing souls in his care had made landfall on the world's surface, he most deviously recalled his shuttles and left, thus ridding himself of his duty of care to the unfortunate lot. Not knowing how they would survive in Foulstone's grim wastelands, the forsaken people came to the monastery of St. Cognatius, and there they surrounded its walls. They hammered their fists on its gates and implored and wailed, "Take us in, protect us." And what once was a place of serenity and grace was now full of din, disorder, and all manner of things despicable. The interlopers brought with them worldly futility and strife, and mayhap also the seeds of alluring blasphemies, if friendly heathens lurked in their midst. After a prayer, the prelate Hectarchius turned his eye to the past in search of instruction. Prelate Hectarchius recalled the first missionaries to set foot on Foulstone's vast wasteland, led by their zeal for serving St. Cognatius. And those missionaries had received the blessing of Nicomedes Keefe, the champion of faith who had traveled with them in their star bark, to found in this place a humble and pure abode wherein to cultivate wisdom and piety. And St. Cognatius, a man of great endeavors, a warrior and a wise artificer, never cowered behind the walls of a librarium, but stepped bravely into the darkness, carrying light in the palm of his hand, and he commanded others to do the same. And not only Foulstone, but many other worlds of the Cronus Expanse bear its imprint. And Prelate Hectarchius did welcome the interlopers warmly as his guests, but he did warn his brethren to keep their vigilance. The brethren and sisters of the Order of the Hammer came forth to meet the strangers, carrying water and protein victuals and medicinal herbs and jugs of promethium. But the crowd came to blows over viands, and blood was spilt, and many were trampled or mauled in the stampede, some of them dwellers of the monastery. Then the warriors of the Order of the Hammer donned their flat cowls, inscribed words of praise to the God Emperor on their tactical advisors, and went forth, ready to render service in battle. With las guns and bolters they pierced the interlopers, with their chain swords and power flails they struck them, and a great and bloody harvest was reaped that day. But the interlopers, too, scant though their armament was and scanter their skill in battle, slew many among the monastery's dwellers, for great were their numbers and greater their desperation. The monks fled beyond their walls, and rang the Vox Alarum to shut the gate, and commanded the armed guards to keep watch over that gate, slaying any who approached. A quarrel broke out. The hungry and the sick lay siege to the monastery, begging for help. In their spite, they blocked the water collector and unpowered the janitorium. The faithful, in the meantime, made ready to resist. And a miracle came to pass. The God Emperor sent his champion, his confidant, his right hand. Extended a veil of protection over the interlopers, taking them into his care, and thereby of all Foulstone with them. Humbly, the Order of the Hammer heeded the God Emperor's confidant, and unsealed the airlocks and opened the gate of its abode. It brought forth gifts of virtue to relieve the suffering of the ill-stricken. After a prayer, the architects set to work. In accordance with the saint's teachings and the parameters set forth in the standard template construct, they erected spacious living quarters and sturdy fort walls for the planetary militia, and a spacious auditorium wherein to trade and store goods, and a proud sensorium within those whose walls clerks and servo bondsmen would maintain order and keep statistical records. And a new yet righteous way of life came to Foulstone, and the people rejoiced, and all was good. Alright, so we can do Dominion of the Hammer. So there are optimal choices for each of these colonies. I'm going to try and pick the best roleplay option each time, which may cost me in the long run, but that's okay. So I did my first playthrough, but it all works out. Dominion of the Hammer. The privilege of becoming Foulstone's patron is a tempting prospect for many. However, with the Rogue Trader's assistance, the Order of the Hammer will retain ultimate authority over the world. The High Throne. The Ecclesiarchy lacks a capital in the Cronus Expanse from which to guide the faithful. If Foulstone ascends to the status of a cardinal world, the Adeptus Ministorum will ensure the prosperity of their new planetary stronghold. Heretics will tremble when they hear of the alliance between House Von Valancius and the Ecclesiarchy. So we can only choose one of these three. You see here, blocks Dominion of the Hammer, blocks Celestial Protector. That would give us the Emperor's Retribution feature for the Voidship. This would give us the Infernical Flamer, which is pretty good, but I'm not going to Flamer build on Argenta this playthrough. And a Celestial Protector. No one in the entire Cronus Expanse will make a worthier guardian of a Sanctuary of Faith than the head of House Von Valancius. A marvelous basilica will be erected in his honor in the world's capital city. It will be decorated with the grand twin statue of the Emperor and the Rogue Trader. Thousands of parishioners and priests will say his name in their daily prayers and bring him reverent gifts. None of these really fit roleplay-wise. I might just do a Celestial Protector. So block the other two projects. Lord Captain's Voidship gains the Shield of Faith feature, plus 30% to the Prowl Shield sector, 20 Holy Gifts, 2 Profit Factor, and 1 Complacency. This also gives you Reputation. I don't know if you have to optimize projects that give you Reputation with certain factions in order to max them all out. I did this my first playthrough, so I don't want to do it again if I can help it. So we'll do a Celestial Protector instead. And we're done here. We're going to hop back to the system we just left with the Drifting Voidship. Supposedly I missed loot in the ship there. It's here, right? Lord Captain, I hasten to report the disturbing news brought to me by the machine spirits of the ship. The matter is extremely delicate and concerns Lady Cassia. You see, since her first day aboard, her presence has been a disturbance to the crew's way of life. If you'll allow, I prepared a detailed report. Deliver your report. The first incident occurred immediately after a departure from Urak 5. The Lady Navigator chastised one of the ship's runners, after which he went to his living quarters, killed his family, and then shot himself. The second incident was noted while traversing the warp. The Lady Navigator gave the pilots the wrong instructions, and the Voidship was thrown off course, for a matter of minutes. But this was enough for the forces of the Immaterium to anger the machine spirits enough for them to start a fire in the service bay. After that, officers living near the Lady Navigator's quarters began to express extreme emotions. Hysteria, apathy, euphoria, rage. This is quite detrimental to crew morale and performance. The last incident was recorded on Footfall. Around 100 living birds were delivered on board during our stay on Footfall. Each bird cost a hefty sum, but I failed to discover their purpose and subsequent fate. I was also told about a conflict between the Lady Navigator and the Seneschal. Alas, with no details. If you like, you can ask Master Versarian directly. Things are even worse with Jai Haidari. I intercepted a Vox cast in which she promised she would, and I quote, "and that Casca," if she ever saw her again. If I may, Lord Captain, the Lady Navigator's state of mind worries me. She is self-contained and does not mess with the crew at all, which is why everyone avoids her. Even senior officers can be superstitious. I fear that only you are in a position to talk to her on an equal footing and improve the situation. For the sake of the crew's safety, and that of Lady Cassia herself. A call for help has pierced the tranquility of an uneventful warp flight. Something sinister is afoot on one of the storage decks. 2 squads have already been sent to investigate, and both of them have gone missing. Alas, the only way to learn of their fate is a personal visit by the rogue trader and his retinue. I probably should have swapped out Pascal.
With fire and vigor, our Emperor, imbue us!
Sons, gifts. Running binary override.
Am I getting paid for this?
Oh, Spaghetti-O. I don't remember this encounter.
I'll see to it personally.
Okay, now I'm really riled up.
Another enemy down.
Was that you? Or...
One fewer target.
As the Emperor commands, eradicated.
Strengthen forces. Reading damage to bulk. The scriptural program is significant value.
We can do this all day.
Abide in the host of blessed creations of the Omnissiah. Tech Familiar activated.
I'm not the
Sorry, Adira.
enemy.
You've got a problem? Never fight fair. I can do that with the right incentive.
I'll make it happen. I'll see to it personally.
Why did I not foresee this?
Let's see.
Follow my lead. It will be done.
I'll do it. Faith without deed, none can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Alright. They just keep spawning. That's okay. It's a fun fight. So these become completely trivial later on in the game. More of a nuisance than anything. They do get essentially an auto-resolve option for a lot of these later on.
You jest, surely.
What an unfortunate turn of fate.
I hold all the cards.
I took care of this one.
I refuse. On it.
Can I fall back now?
Alright. Stop this guy. Nice try, buddy.
Each strike is a prayer. As the Emperor commands, I act.
Alright. Rocking and rolling. The deer is taking a beating. Probably could have stayed further back.
Martyrdom is the reward.
I definitely could have stayed further back. Created like a bottleneck.
Request approved.
Victory is imminent. My place is at the fore. At your beck and call.
This last guy at? Oh, we can almost get to him.
It will be done.
Didn't flinch. It's as good as done.
Hey, we leveled up.
Is there money to be made?
Hot dog. Oh, on violence and salvation. New too. Yellow pages of this tattered pamphlet give off the sickly sweet smell of rot. The universe is drenched in foul blood and rampant profligacy. Disgrace, immorality, and lies permeate the air around every world. Agony, suffering, and pain thrive within us. Submit, repent, and accept your fate, to live and die in vileness and villainy. This omnipresent sickness pierces the void that stretches between suns and worlds. All of existence, however perpetual or unshakable it may seem, will one day witness its demise and turn to dust. The cities of today will become ruins of tomorrow. The rosy-cheeked maiden will turn into a filthy hag, and the soldier who walks the battlefield for the first time will forever stay there, sinking into the bloody, decaying mass of countless others. But open yourself to the truth. Depravity, filth, and vileness are eternal and all-encompassing, that they are things worth bowing to. And therein lies our hope. By resigning ourselves to the rotten deformity of existence and embracing all of its profanity, we can be honest and sincere with our nature. We can evade the doom of oblivion and become one with eternity. Having trodden through all of the world's putrescence and recognized its morbid and irremediable wretchedness, we can perceive the soft and curative warmth of the true, most merciful of faiths. And thus at last we can discover the path to salvation, and to the caring embrace of the great unclean one, to his rotting and all-accepting heart, where there is a place for any true believer. Little Nurgle worship never hurt anybody, right? That's why they call him Papa Nurgle. He's a swell guy. Just like that Karn. AP increase. Grants plus 1 additional AP at the 20th character level. And then weapon skill. Abelard, same thing. And also weapon skill. Adira, +1 AP, and... Ooh. Good ballistic skill. She has more of a sniper than she has a psyker. Also ballistic skill. And weapon skill. And ballistic skill.
I always have a backup plan.
Yeah, we don't have to fight anybody. Just want to grab the loot and get out of there. Yeah, I did. Just not grab loot. Diagnostor grants +15 Medicae. A Dimensional Traveler Cloak requires Heretical Votary. Wearer of this cloak gains a psychic power, which allows me to sacrifice from 3 to 9 wounds to immediately teleport to any cell in a 4-cell radius. The Medicae we could probably give to Cabela. The other thing we'll probably just get rid of. Alright, she wants probably weapon skill as well. Oh no, that's the wrong. Shoot, that was Cabela. Don't want weapon skill on Cassia, but it's fine. I think Foulstone we can do something with now. If I go to... Yeah. Oh, not ready yet. Alright, so this is where Foulstone is, right? Yeah. So we can go to Omicron. Oh, travel here first. Lord Captain, permission to address you with a request. Our head Chirurgeon is sabotaging the ship's operations. He has quarantined several Voidsman crews on account of a piddling sickness. People don't even go to the med bay when they come down with it. They just wipe their noses and keep working. Only a dozen or so die from it in a whole year. We're sitting on our hands here. So I ask you to talk some sense into him. Your vox clicks and you hear a dry, nonchalant response. Greetings, your lordship. My name is Leonard Forius, and I am the Chirurgeon Majoris of this vessel. As your chief Medicae specialist, I assure you that the quarantine is well warranted. This piddling sickness has claimed the lives of a number of meritorious officers in the past. This time, I intend to get the epidemic under control, study the disease thoroughly, develop a proper cure. This is a new event as well. I hope you will agree that a single period of downtime is a small price to pay for the number of lives that will be saved and the increase in the crew's performance during other such outbreaks in the future. Not to mention the fact that we don't have to waste stimulants due to the afflicted using them as a crutch to offset their limited work capacity. How do you intend to study this disease? By gathering enough infected individuals together, letting the illness progress, comprehending its properties, and finally killing it. The disease goes through several stages, with each containing clues to its nature and vulnerabilities. The Voidsman will have to stay sick for some time until I discover the cure, assuming, of course, that the disease is reversible in its final stages. Defeating a disease is a noble goal, but I cannot approve of your methods. Find volunteers among the crew who agree to being infected in exchange for compensation. I expect you to cure every one of them once you are done. This may limit the potential of the study, but this approach is also acceptable. I'll make up for the lack of material with my expertise. Thank you for taking the crew's health into consideration. Should you require my services, you may find me on the bridge, your lordship. Lord Captain, I bring dire news. A feud has broken out between the clans that maintain the Void Shield arrays. Rumor has it that the late Lady Theodora was seen on the lower decks, and so one of the families called for rebellion against the usurper of the Voidship. That is, you. So far, no one believes their mad tales, but unrest has begun at the fringes of the compartments. The ship's enforcers are ready to eliminate the instigating clan, or pacify the entire Void Shield crew. The decision is yours. Find the source of the rumors and punish those responsible. I don't want any unnecessary deaths. Lord Captain, as Seneschal Versarion would say, there are no innocents in such cases. The clans are endangering the entire Voidship, fussing over a strange and obviously false rumor. If you so desire, I'll convey your wishes to the enforcers later. But right now the unrest must be stopped, and the people return to their direct duties or replaced. And my wishes, Voxmaster, are for the enforcers to sort out the situation before we forfeit the crew wholesale. Investigate the rumors and find the real culprits. And no violence. I'll see to it, Lord Captain. A warp breach. This time, trouble came straight to the bridge. Malodorous mist teeming with swaying nightmarish figures has rolled through the ventilation shafts into the command center. The officers are suffocating from this wave of corruption. There's no time to deliberate. To battle.
I'll make an example out of you!
Guys are in my spots.
Temporary setback.
I think I only had this encounter one time in my first playthrough. I don't remember it happening very often.
Break their morale. Weapon at the ready.
I must not falter.
Naturally. Everyone, step aside.
Should have activated that first. Oh well.
Weather the storm!
But of course,
Let them fear.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Follow my lead. I'll brush this off. I'll make it happen. Taking calculated risk is my second nature.
That was disappointing.
I'll see to it
All right.
personally.
Defensive stance. I'm glad to see he's doing well.
I'll do it. None can escape the Emperor's judgment. In thy light I stand, and thy light I crave.
Only for one shot, is it for the whole turn? Just the next attack. If I can. No, probably not. It doesn't look. Not worried about the crew. They can be replaced.
Indeed.
Follow my lead.
Hey, 11 damage.
Farewell.
Someone less to worry about. Hey, good job, buddy.
Moving out. Follow my lead. Duty prevails.
Stay vigilant.
Alright. Buffs, some attacks. We took out one mutiny crew member.
Don't get too cocky.
For the throne's glory. I won't object to it.
Bodies decay for murder!
Am I getting paid? Going somewhere?
Alright, it's one of the big threats down.
Don't get too cocky. You've got a problem. I've got a prize.
My faith strengthens me.
Don't let your guard down. I'll make it happen. I'll see to it personally.
Oh, it might be okay. We just angle it
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in
like
my
that.
heart.
Landed one shot, but 40 damage. That's pretty good.
Doubt is for the weak. My Emperor!
Just a minor setback. I will do my duty. A tactically sound approach. Reduced to dust.
Alright, all major threats are done. Wow, missed both of them. Let's see what our Cyber Raven can do.
Let's see what you can do. I must not falter.
I've faced worse than this.
Let's see to it. I need a foothold.
Alright, see what we can do here.
I can do that.
Completely evaporated him. Awesome.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
I am ready for whatever comes. Who, if not me? I'll see to it personally. It's as good as...
I got one. I don't know why we're blocking when we had the called shot active, but
As the Emperor commands, I act.
that's neither here nor there.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone!
Sorry, Heinrichs.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time. I'm not interested. It will be done.
Be gone!
Focus, Van Kellogg's. Focus.
I know what I'm doing, usually.
That was a waste of a medkit.
Alright, good job, team. The junk we can get rid of. We could just leave this area and grab all this loot, but sometimes you can't. I want to risk like leaving the area and not grabbing
What
everything.
ails you?
I guess I could always save beforehand. I'm on the wrong side.
Keep your wits about you.
Oh, okay. Lord Captain, Port of Foulstone has been upset by a conflict between the followers of the Order of the Hammer and the refugees from the Winterscale Dynasty's domain. An argument broke out near the tomb of the renowned holy man Nicomedes Keefe, and the tomb was damaged in the fray. The pilgrims revering Keefe's rival, Philippimenes of Malpai, claimed Keefe to be a thief who had stolen the relics of St. Cognatius and violated the sacred monastery of his resting place to sate his greed. The Order of the Hammer is furious at the heretical statements and the desecration of Keefe's burial site. Who is this Nicomedes and Philippimenes? What is the issue here? St. Nicomedes Keefe is a missionary who arrived in the Expanse alongside the founders of the Order of the Hammer, offering them valuable guidance for colonizing Foulstone. He converted many worlds to the Imperial Creed, but his most famous feat was his search for the burial site of the legendary preacher St. Cognatius, who conquered the Expanse thousands of years ago, leaving behind scores of relics. Keefe was able to track down some of those relics. The order was named after the power hammer of St. Cognatius, Piety's Charge. Philippimenes of Malpai is a priest from Winterscale's realm. He preached in the same times as Nicomedes Keefe, denounced him for the false veneration of St. Cognatius. He believed that Cognatius preached the incomprehensibility of the highest wisdom to the people, and that any attempts to learn it would only lead to heresy. He called the search for St. Cognatus' burial site blasphemy, and the collection of relics looting and soliciting. In his opinion, the sacred objects should not be congregated in one place, but should find haven across the many worlds. The relics are power, and their aggregation gives way to pride. What say my advisors? For Griffith has just arrived in a foreign realm. The Malpians' conduct is insolent at best. Penance should be imposed on them. We'll send them on a pilgrimage to find the relics of St. Cognatus, and to learn the ways of St. Keith. In this way, they'd be of use for returning the lost relics, and the Order of the Hammer would be satisfied with a just verdict. There was a similar theological dispute at the Fifth Aphelian Council, and the conflict between the two cults was resolved in sacred duel. 20 champions from each side came forward, both sides vowing to accept the victor's teachings if they lost. I propose to invoke the council's edict and settle the dispute in the same way. They believe that their faith is superior. Now let them prove it. Subject them to a severe test of faith. If they survive it, they are proven their steadfastness. Even if the Order of the Hammer does not accept their arguments, it will be easier for them to recognize the newcomer's right to interpret the way of St. Cognatus if they provide it with their own blood and pain. Or if they prove it with their own blood and pain. The Malpians have renounced the concept of possession. Their vows are true and similar to ours. They lack humility and reverence for the dead. The Bloodspun Web could embrace their leaders. We could teach them. We could soothe the turmoil. So Heinrich's option would get +1 security and St. Cognatus' relic. If we take Cabela's option, we get St. Cognatus' relic, +1 security, and the Blade Dancer's greaves. Argenta's will get a power sword, a +1 complacency, +1 complacency, -1 efficiency. Malpian Shroud for Abelard's suggestion. Yeah, I'm thinking I'll do Cabela's. The Malpian preachers belong to the Bloodspun Web now. Bring them aboard. From this day forth, these people serve the Undying One. To St. Cognatus' relic, Order gains a +5% chance to reduce incoming warp damage by half for each point of deflection. And Blade Dancer's greaves. Moving through cells affected by raining blood or blood file costs the wearer -50% MP less. A grim and solemn procession of preachers came aboard and made a vocal renunciation of their former lives. Disturbed by the loss of their spiritual leaders, the refugees quieted down and no longer defied the Order of the Hammer. The Order of the Hammer thanked the Lord Captain for his protection, staying true to the agreements between them. Let's do Profit Factor. Some holy relics. Alright, so we do Touched by Holiness. This doesn't block any other thingamabobs. Same with the indulgences for sale. Yeah, it's gonna do this. Because we're not dogmatic, so we're not going against anything here. Selling the forgiveness of the ecclesiarchy can be a significant source of revenue. +1 profit factor and +2,000 Fellowship of the Void reputation. Alright, I'm going to call it here. Next time we'll go to Omicron and continue exploring the Cronus Expanse. But for now, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.